The Colt was a huge pad for us this year because we found it able to use it when we were in pads or without. So for us, it was a great way to implement all of our stuff. We would start out our everyday drills right from our footwork to hand placement with the pad. We found it so much different than any other pad that we ever used. With the arms extended, it was such an advantage for our kids on where to put your hands. So in all of our footwork drills, everything we do implement in our hands as well. When you used any other kind of shield, you never really could see if the kids got their hands in the right spot. So with the arms on the pad on the Colt, we knew right away if our hands were inside when we're doing single blocks or even on zone, if we're trying to rip through. Where I found it to be a huge advantage was in pass protection, believe it or not. I mean, for us to get our first initial punch into a chest plate was a huge difference where you could never really see that with any other pad. So our kids found out, hey, if my arms get a little wide, I'm outside of the arm and it doesn't work out quite as well as it should. So we found that to be a huge advantage for us. It actually helps us. I mean, because let's face it, no defender, coaching offensive line, no defender stands still. Everybody's moving. So when the bag would start to dip, it allowed our kids, even on double teams, to where to work your hand to adjust, because this is kind of where the arms were going to be, because nobody wants to just stand there and get hit. No one stands square. So the arms moving and working, it naturally makes your offensive linemen have to move their hands and feet as well to get back to the relationship they need to be at. Oh, without question. It naturally brings the lineman's hips down because, like I said, the defensive kid holding the Colt naturally stays lower because they don't want to just get hit in the face anyways. Nobody plays football to do that. So with the arms, it actually gives them a separation, allows them to play lower, which forces the offensive lineman to keep his hips down, move his feet, and keep his pad level where it needs to be. If we're doing just a one-on-one period, we naturally just take our hands and we want to keep our elbows nice and tight and thumbs up, and we're trying to hit that chest plate with our punch, which is naturally because with the arms on the Colt, it's right between the two arms. So if we can get our hands inside the arms, it works out great in real life situations as far as the game of football goes, because now the kids get a natural feel as if I move my arms this wide, it's not going to work. And we found out that the defensive kids holding the Colt actually found a way to use it so that they could try to get the arm of the pad inside the offensive linemen's. And so it became a competition level every day with the kids using the pad, which I felt made our practices a whole lot better. We could get away with not banging and doing as much contact as we would have to do in years past, which saves the hits of your kids. Oh, absolutely. I mean, our kids practice harder than ever before. When kids know, there's really no threat, you're not getting hurt, you're not, clunking heads, you're not doing that stuff, our kids go hard. So they're going to practice harder than ever because the safe value there is very high. There's no risk of getting hit back in the face. So, but you're allowed to be technique solid, which is crucial when you go and actually go live. Because if your technique is solid, it becomes habit forming. They don't have to think about it. They naturally become hands in where they're supposed to be. I think it's a huge, we've implemented some of it into our off-season workouts. Our strength and conditioning coach uses, they do all kinds of different drill work stuff that on their own, and the kids will take the pad out with themselves. I found it to be very useful. We always had problems when you're in a line coach and you don't have pads on. How do you get the physicality of football when you're not wearing shoulder pads? Obviously, at the level you go up, guys know how to protect themselves and do different things. High school kids, youth football, and for that most, a lot of college guys don't know how to do that yet. So by using this pad, it allowed us to be almost full speed at all times, even when we weren't wearing shoulder pads. And so we felt it was a huge advantage for your camps, for those mini days where you're just not allowed, for our walkthrough days where we're not in shoulder pads anyway, but we want to get some work done. We were able to use that pad, and the Colt was a wonderful asset for us up front this year. We actually use it all the time. We would use, even when we were doing live stuff, if we were doing 11-on-11s, there'd be times we would implement the Colt with the linemen just to take some of the shots off, each kid. But absolutely, we loved it. It worked out great for us. We used it from the first second we walked on the practice field right until we went to full team where we were 11-on-11. We used the Colt all the time. Like I said, we've kind of gotten away from using any other kind of shield for line play because I don't feel it helps us at all. Once we went to that, it was actually taking a step backwards. So, I mean, it'd be like taking the passing game now out of football. I mean, obviously that's part of the game and it's moving forward. Well, that's kind of what the Colt is doing. It's revolutionizing the line play where, hey, this is a new way it has to be done because the old shields just don't get it done anymore.